CRM, and people systems. So great. All right. Over to you, David. And let's start off with Australia compliance.
All right. So can you see my screen? Excellent. So inside here, if we click on company, you can see that we have BSA reporting method, full reporting method. Now let's go to sell. Inside here, you can see our different types of invoice transactions. If I click buy, you can see your different types of bills. Now let's go to reports. Inside here, we can click on business activity statement. Inside here, you can see the different BASs. from December 2020. And if you click on the settings button up here, then you can see the Australian business number, the BAS filing, simpler or full reporting method. You can see the tax accounting basics, accrual or cash. You can see the GST calculation cycle, monthly, quarterly, or annually. You can see the PAYG installment method. You can also see annually, quarterly, monthly for PAG installment cycle and other tax obligations, fuel, wine, luxury, fridge. And after that, you can click Create BAS. Inside here, you can see the filing year and the period. So if I click on the period, I can choose the month and I can choose the year and I can click OK. Now I see all this other information here, like goods and services tax, PAYG, tax withheld from October 1st to December 31st. And I can input the amount, like total salaries, amounts withheld from payment shown at W1, amounts withheld, no ABN is quoted, other amounts withheld, excluding any amount shown at W2 or W4. And I can see the total amount. Then I can also put in the FBT installment amount. I can say if verified, this amount complies to F2, F3, or F4. And then I can input it. Estimated taxes for the year. Varied amount payable for the quarter. Reason code for variation. So is it 21, 22, 23, financial marketing changes or market changes. Then I can put wine exclusion tax, luxury car tax, full tax credit over claim. And I can see the total amount you owed the ATO, and then the amount the ATO owes you. So anything refundable, luxury car tax refundable, credit from FBT installment variations, any fuel tax credits, and I can see the total amount that ATO owes you. And I can see your payment amount here. And of course, I can change it. And of course, your refund amount will be updated accordingly. If not, then this is the amount you have to pay, your paid amount. After all that, you can go up and click Save. Then you can put in a name that identifies what this is, such as BAS December 2020. Then after that, you can click on the three dots. You can edit. I can see a detailed view. I can drill down and see my total sales. I can see my sales invoices here. I can see my export sales and see my sales invoices here. I can see my non-capital purchases and my capital purchases. And I can see GST on sales. So I can see the invoices that are applied there as well, and GST on purchases. Then I can turn off the detailed view and save. Again, I can update the name if I'm required to. And that's a quick look at business activity statement log.
For everybody who has been waiting for Australia compliance, it's here. Please go ahead, use it, try it, get your BS reporting in place. And yeah, I mean, it's there for you to use now. I mean, no more waiting, guys, no more waiting. Okay, let's move on to the next item in the agenda. So let's take a look at the redesign of multi-currency. So this is a UX. This is a UX improvement, and I mean, when we launched it, 1.5, 2 months ago, then we received a lot of feedback about the design of how to handle multi-currency activation and deactivation, and it was good feedback. And we have incorporated those inputs into this new design, which David will show us now.
All right. So inside here, under financial settings, you can see the multi-currency is not enabled. So in the past, you just enable it and all the currencies would be there. But now, once you enable it, you can now select your currencies like Canadian dollars, your base currency. Then I can select, for example, Singapore dollar, US, United States dollar. I can search for a currency like South African Rand. And then I can just search for the currencies I require. No longer does it activate everything. I only activate what I want, such as Indian rupees. And if everything looks good, I save it. And then I update it. After updating it, I can go to settings and I can go to currencies. Inside here, I can see all my different currencies. I can see that my reporting base currency is Canadian dollars. And I can see the eye, and that shows which ones are currently visible and which ones are hidden in the system. After that, I can just select which ones I want to activate. And then I activate it. So I just select the ones I want to deactivate, and I just deactivate it. You can see it's very simple. It's not a very complex process. You only select what you want. And if you want to deactivate, you just select the ones you want to deactivate. Of course, you cannot deactivate your base currency. I can also click on the eye, and that can activate it as well. I can search for records up here as well. For example, New Zealand. I can select New Zealand here and New Taiwan dollar and activate it. After that, I can see all the ones I have here. For example, New Zealand dollar. And I can change the rate. So if I click change rate here, I can go in and change the rate. So for example, 1 New Zealand is equal to 0.9 Canadian dollars. Now it's 1.9. That's something terrible happened. That's not good. So you can see the amount here, and I can click change, and I can see the rate changes and when it was updated. After that, if I want to see the existing rate, which are not activated, I can just click here to view the rate, and I can see the rate for that specific currency. I have also the ability. So you see all these eyes that are lit up here on the side. If I go to sell, and then I click and create a invoice, and I go and click get paid. Inside here, if you click on the currency, you see Canadian dollar. Just click on that. You will only see the currencies that are activated. You will not see any other currency. So no longer do you have to suffer through and try to deactivate one by one. We can now highlight the ones that you want to deactivate and deactivate them accordingly.
Great, David. And thank you again to the community for some of the wonderful feedback that we got that helped us make this change. So great job, everyone. Let's look at the next item on the agenda. So we have added Microsoft integration now into CRM, and the first set of integrations will allow you to easily fetch all your existing contacts from your Microsoft account into CRM, and then you can segment them, you can send them emails, you can maintain and follow up deals with them, and pretty much do everything that you can in CRM with those contacts without having to manually import those through an Excel file and playing around with the Excel file, getting all the columns right and whatnot. So that is a thing of the past. Now you can just connect your Microsoft account, and let's see how we do it.
All right. So first things first, you're going to go click on contacts. Oh, wow. All right. And then inside here, you have the import contacts. So you can import the contacts. Next, you have a choice to select people or organizations, just like we did in the past. And by selecting, for example, people, you can click next. And then you have your choice from computer, which is your Excel file. And you also have your Microsoft 365 now that you can actually go and connect to. Inside here, you can see it's already been connected. And I want to show you that it can be disconnected here as well. So, for example, you can see it's connected to this Gmail account. And then you can click disconnect. over here. 1 second. And then you can also click Connect Account again. And you can also add another account as well. So if I click Connect Account, it'll ask me to enter my password, of course. I see my Gmail account for Microsoft up here, and I can put in my password, and I can sign in. And now I'm just signing into Microsoft. Then after that, I can just click Next. Okay, yep, you can see that I'm now connected. And now I can click Next. And after I click Next, I can see the auto mapping here. So I can see my contacts, my organization name, my labels. I can see my email, my address. And so you can see it auto maps already directly from Microsoft People. So it maps it all here. I can see Bob, Test, Robert at Deskera. I can click here and select and map it as well with all the different fields. And I can click, so I can fill in all the information. I can choose the labels. I can determine everything here. And then after that, I can click Next. After that, I can check and make sure all the data looks correct. If everything looks good, I can confirm. And now you can see the contacts are in the system. I can see John A. and Bob, and you can see a small little icon there as well. This icon shows that it was pulled from Microsoft and that it's now in the system. We also have Test Company and Deskera Company, and these companies are actually from the contacts themselves from people. So let's go log into Microsoft. So we're just logging in now. And then after that, we can go see the information here, and I can click on that wonderful icon, and I can click on all apps, and I can go to people. And inside here, I just have to add my first name and my last name.
So yeah, I mean, this won't be needed every time. I mean,
No.
It's just Microsoft authenticating you. And if you have a new account, then it may be needed.
Yeah.
I mean, this won't be needed every time, though.
Definitely. That'd be very annoying if you had to do that every time. So inside here, now you can see Bob. We're just going to click on him, and you're going to see his information inside here. You can see Bob here, and then you can see the companies Deskera and Test, and you can see here the company here is Test as well. And for John, it's Deskera inside the system. Okay, and that was a quick look at Microsoft Contact integration.
Awesome, David. Thanks. Yeah, go ahead. You can now start connecting your Microsoft accounts to Deskera and easily get all your contacts over. Just port them over in a few clicks. That's it, right? So trying to make your life easy. Now, let's move on to the next item in the agenda. So this is a big one, I know, because I have handled a lot of questions around providing more support for sending email campaigns through your own SMTPs. And now you can do that. You can configure your own SMTP in CRM and send email campaigns. So, I mean, that's a big thing. And the best part about that is that if you're using your own SMTP to send out emails through the email campaign module, is that the Deskera limits won't apply to the email sent, right? Because it's going through your SMTP. So whatever limits that may be applicable to your SMTP are the ones that are going to apply. We are not going to impose any additional limit at all. So yeah, I mean, we have an awesome email campaign tool which you can use as much as you want without any of those pesky limits that are applied by the providers, because we are giving you the platform to build nice looking emails. We are giving you the platform to create those segments and to send out those emails, and you just have to use your own SMTP platform, and you can you are no longer limited by any limits imposed by Deskera, that is. So over to David, and David, let's see how we can add our own SMTPs to email campaigns.
All right. So first we're going to have to create a campaign, then put in the campaign name and the subject. So for example, demo campaign. Then you put in the segment, you click next, then you select the email template. Easter template. How nice. Better to have Christmas now though. Now you put in the address, you save and continue. And then after that, you'll be able to see sender name. So this is where you're going to input the sender name and sender email address. And now you can see also down here, Deskera email services or use my own. So this is where I can click use my own and I can add an email. So I click here, I can put in the sender name. So for example, Sachin, I can put in the email address. And then I can put in the user ID, excuse me, and I can put in my password. After that, I put in my SMTP. So smtoutlook.com, I put in my port, and then I save it. After that, you can see that the email is there. The campaign email has been successfully added. So after that, I can always add in additional emails and put in additional emails there as well. Then you see the sender names already identified and sender emails already inputted based upon the information we inputted there. Then I can send now or schedule for later, just like we would normally would do. And I can also change it back to Deskera email services if I want to. Yep. So for example, if I want at 8 p.m., I can click 8 p.m. or I can leave it at 7 p.m. or I can just send it out now. So then I can also send a test email and I can click send. So now the email has been sent. So now demo campaign's been sent. I can go to the campaigns. I can see it's scheduled. If I click refresh, it should say sent and has anybody viewed it? And now I can go to the email here and click on the inbox. And I can see after refreshing the demo campaign, and I can see my email here accordingly. And that's a quick look at how to connect SMTP to your email campaigns.
Awesome. So, so now you know how to do it. Go ahead, do it, run those email campaigns, make more money. And the next thing is, so this is a quick one. We have added the support for Bahasa in CRM. And I think Vamsi and Handra will take you through that in greater detail on Thursday when we have the Indonesia webinar. But let's take a quick look at how to do it, and then we'll quickly move on to workflow management after that.
All right. So inside here, you can see, just like in the other systems, we have that English. And then if you click on it, it goes down to Indonesia, just like in books. So after you click it, you can see all the fields have changed. All the labels have changed on the screen. You click in there, then you can see also the column labels have changed. You can see the import information has changed as well. So you can see everything has been updated in the system. So if I click on John A, I can go in here. I can see that to connect the email has been changed. You can see activities. All the labels have changed accordingly based upon it.
Okay, Awesome. So that was that. No, so now you can use CRM in Bahasa as well. And let's move on to the next item, which is workflow management. Now, this is uh, workflow management. I just want to give a little bit of background on that. I mean, what is workflow management? So it's a tool that will allow you to automate your processes across all the Deskera systems, right? So for, I mean, some of the use cases that you can think of is maybe that you want to create an invoice as soon as the customer moves into a deal, close the state in CRM. So you want to create an invoice and you want to send it to that customer. That is the kind of stuff that you can do with workflow management tool. You can build these rules and these processes in the system, and just automate. So then you can focus more on not moving around boxes, but rather just on growing your business. So David, let's have a look at workflow management.
Sounds good. All right. So first off, I'm clicking on CRM. I'm just dragging create contact. So when I create a contact in Deskera Books, Deskera CRM, this will be triggered. So what am I triggering? I'm sending an email. So I'm just dragging and connecting it there. I'm clicking here. I'm putting in from. I'm putting in the email address. For two, I'm just clicking on contacts and I'm pulling out their email address here. Now I'm just putting in the subject, welcome to Deskera. And I'm putting in the message here. New contact has been added for, and then just putting in the email phone number, the phone number here under create contacts with this number. And then it's done. So you can see here a contact, when it's created, will send out an email, and then the email will go and create an activity. So you'll send out an email, an activity will be created, and it'll be call with, under contact, the name of the contact, the date under system variables, current date and current time, and duration, 1 hour. And there you go. So the workflow has been created. Now I save it, and let's test it out. Let's go to contacts, and let's create a contact here. Put in the contact name. Put in the phone number. Put in the email address. And let's save it. After that, an email should be generated. So let's go to the inbox. Oh, okay. Let's first go to activities. And let's click on the list view. Let's refresh the screen. So if you don't see it immediately after you create the contact, you may have to refresh the screen in order to see it, the activity generated. So let's click on the list view. Let's click on call, and you can see it here. And then you can see the email here as well. And that's a quick look at workflow in Deskera CRM.
Awesome. So just to clarify, so this workflow, the video, the demo that we showed was using CRM, but it will allow you to connect all the Deskera applications together. So that gives you a lot of flexibility if you think about it, right? Let's say your business process requires you to have some kind of approval process in place that you can do using this workflow. Let's say that you want an email to be triggered when a particular deal moves into a particular stage. You can use the workflow to do that. Let's say you want to notify your client that, okay, this has happened, XYZ has happened. You can use the workflow engine to start an email and send it to that particular contact. So there are multiple use cases, and it allows you to automate most of the manual tasks that you would be doing today with your accounts or invoicing or CRM for that matter. So it's a pretty powerful tool. Again, I mean, it's a very early version that you saw today, so we'll keep on improving it. But yes, I mean, that is the long-term objective, to basically allow you to make document creation, notification, and processes, easy, and to make them seamlessly connect with each other using one single application. So that's it. So, David, is there anything else on the agenda after in terms of new items? I don't think so. So let's take a pause here and look at some of the questions.
Sounds good. All right, let's see. What type of question?
Okay,
Oh,
so Mohammed Zain is asking if for sequence numbers mm/yy and mm/yyyy at invoice code bill etc. in the roadmap. So Mohammed Zain, yes, they are. I think we have spoken about that earlier as well. They are in the pipeline, but as we discussed, I don't think we will have it ready before Q1. So you can expect this in Q1 because we have our roadmap and we are in the process of closing out the roadmap for Q4 right now. And once we finish that, then we can pick this up in Q1. Okay, let's take a look at if there are any other questions here. Okay, all right. Uh, okay. So what we will do is we'll wait for maybe 2 minutes for some questions. In the meantime, David, you can start off with the books demo, but we'll try to keep it short and tight today. Um, because Christmas weeks, I'm sure all of you have lots of stuff to do as well. So we don't want to take up too much time. But yeah, I mean, if you have questions, more than happy to answer. That's why we are here.
all right. I won't be able to show everything, but I'll try to show what I think is cool and interesting that's just come in. But first things first. So I'm just loading up Deskera books, and I can see here the Deskera cloud desktop. Okay. I think I had this open for too long. That's why it's a little slow. All right. So let me just go to Deskera books. So inside here, again, we have a wonderful dashboard. I think all of you have heard me talk about this wonderful dashboard too many times. And you can select your different bank accounts here. So one thing that I do hear about that's asked a lot on the chat is book beginning date. So just to take note, when you create an organization, your financial start date is based upon each company. Sometimes it's based upon calendar year. So it can be, for example, 2021 1. And your book beginning date is when you go live, when you're actually doing transactions in the system. Everything before this is your opening, such as your opening stock, your opening for your chart of accounts, your opening for any opening invoices or opening bills. And please take note, you cannot change this currently in the system. There's no edit button. So tax registry, this is where you determine what country is it in, and also so your statutory requirements show up properly. If you'd input it wrongly, then it will show up wrongly, of course. And your reporting currency. But please take note, all these 4 fields cannot be changed. You can change your organization name, but not these other 4. All right. So next, I just want to go down to settings. Now inside here, I just want to go to not taxes. I want to go to currency. Yes, currency. And inside here, I want to select the currency. And I want to deactivate these currencies. Having them on for so long. I can finally deactivate them all. No longer do I have to wait. And of course, I can change the page. So instead of doing it 10, 12 times, I can change it to 50. I can see all the rates here. And you can see here what I'm just doing is all I'm doing is just highlighting the top part here, and I'm able to deactivate it. So if you already have everything activated and you're thinking that how I'm going to deactivate all these currencies, you can go here and just deactivate the ones you require. All right. It's that simple. And you can see now, A few seconds, all my currencies have now been deactivated, and I can just search for the ones that I want. So I'm just showing you that it's already in the system. Go have fun, clean it up the way you want it, and have it all set. We have our custom fields here. So inside here, you can see all your different custom fields. And just to remark that inside here, we have, of course, our text, our multi-select dropdown, our numbers, and it's currently available in contacts, accounts, quotation, order, product, journal entry, invoice, and bills. Next, I'm going to go to sell. And inside here, you can do your sell transactions. I believe everyone's seen the sell process before. So I'm just going to go to the invoice. And I'm just going to go to design here. So inside here, if I click here on the wonderful 3 dots, I can click on design. And inside here, I can see the invoice template here. Now I can choose my file. Excuse me, as Apple, for example. See my logo. I can set the theme to whatever I like. But what's new is that down here, I can now go, I don't want to show discount. I don't want to show tax, and I don't want to show notes. I don't want to show terms and conditions, and I don't want to show my signature, for example. I don't need signature. So all of it's here. And if you're not in incognito mode, when I go back here and I click on design, I find that this populates accordingly. All right. You can also get paid. Let's see, quickly get paid. Just to show you a different currency, let's go here. And let me select here, for example, the euro. You can see now it's only these 2 currencies and me not searching up and down, high and low for that specific one. I can select the payment type. I can choose the date. Excuse me. Reference number. And I can click next. So inside here, you can see the exchange rate. So I always like to show this because you can update it accordingly here, because no bank is going to accept your exchange rate unless they're extremely nice, but nobody's going to accept their exchange rate. So I go here and I can receive the payment accordingly. I can print and I can close it. Just quickly, let's just take a quick look at products. So I just want to mention that we have 3 different types of products. Inside here, we have our non-track product, which is our services. We have our track product, which you consider like Apple computers, your phones, your mobile devices. And I just want to show you in inventory, we have enable advanced tracking. If you're unaware, this is something that we have now. Batch tracking and serial number tracking. So I can determine this. And we can go here and I can click on this and I can go to bill of materials. So we also have bill of materials. And inside bill of materials, this is where you can input your components and any additional cost. We have pick, pack, ship, of course. We have our banking integration. We have our accounts. So inside of accounts, we have our chart of accounts, our journal entry, opening balance, debit note, credit note, expense, and deposit. Inside journal entries, I just want to share, in case you're unaware, we have the import option. So if you want to import your journal entries, this is where you can do it. And we have reports. So inside here, we have all our different reports. And of course, our profit and loss balance sheet, cash flow statement, general ledger, our account statements for our customer and vendor. We have our stock ledger report, stock availability at our warehouse. And inside here, you can see your stock in and stock out, and you can expand it and see the details here. And just one quick look at the apps. So inside here's the App Store. So this is where you can connect your payment. So if you want to receive payment or make payment, you can do that through Veeam, but please take note it has to be USD currency as your reporting currency. You have your PayPal Connect, where you can actually receive payments from customers through PayPal. You can receive payments from your customer through Stripe. This is where you can track your orders through USPS and FedEx. This is where you can do your stock transfer and stock adjustment. We also have Zapier connection, as well as your fixed assets, and we do connect to WooCommerce. And that's a quick look at Deskera Books.
Awesome. Thanks, David. And we have a couple of questions. So there is one question here. Uh, when will Yodlee be live? Uh, I believe it should be either end of this week or next week. I mean, before the end of the year, we should have Yodlee live. It's already tested. We had shown the demo as well. Just waiting for release to happen and final few chinks in the armor to be straightened. I mean, that's pretty much it. Another update on the banking side is that we will probably deprecate slash phase out saltage altogether. One of the reasons is because saltage's coverage is very similar to what Yodlee provides in most of the countries. In fact, Yodlee has got more banks which are covered across many countries. There may be a few countries that they don't touch, but I think overall the total number of banks is a lot more in Yodlee. Plus, uh, the I mean, we have encountered a lot of issues in connecting with Saltage. So, I mean, we have built a connection with Saltage, and then when our users, which is all of you, when you try to connect through Saltage to your banks, half the time it's not working. And then we have to go back to Saltage, and then it has taken a lot of time basically to get those issues sorted. And as you might be aware, I mean, we can't really do much if there is an issue between Saltage and the bank. So we expect those issues to be solved. I mean, it's okay to have issues, but they should be getting solved quickly, right? I mean, if there are issues, I mean, it's a software. Software can have bugs, and I mean, trust us. I mean, trust me. I more than anybody else understands that, but we also expect those to be solved quickly. And that's not what something. I mean, that's not something that we have seen happening. Which is why we will be slowly moving out Saltage altogether, and we will stick to Plaid and Yodlee. And both Plaid and Yodlee have got good plans to cover the entire UK, Europe, and the rest of the world between them. So I think that with these two who partners who are more responsive and who are more committed to solving the end customer problems, we will become stronger. So if you are already using Saltage for connecting your bank, don't worry. We will let you know what to do in case you are going to be impacted by that. Okay, David, let's move ahead and take a quick look at Deskera CRM.
Sounds good. All right. So inside Deskera CRM, you can see the dashboard like organizations, people, deal lost, deals won, your contact report, deal stage, deal won and deal lost, campaigns, and tickets. Now let's go up here and go to contacts. So inside contacts, you can see the name, the phone numbers, the open deals owners, visibility, and labels. You can click the three dots, edit, delete, copy, change owner, change visibility. So for example, I'm deleting a wonderful contact. We have here the search function, so I can just type in, for example, Mike. And then I should be able to filter out all the Mikes. So there's Mike Kelly. And then we have, of course, the filters here as well. So I can click on the filters. And I can choose the owner, sub-owner, visibility, and label here as well. So based upon how I want to filter it, it will apply. Also, custom filters is coming soon, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Next, let's go down here. We already saw campaigns earlier from that wonderful video. Let's go to services. Inside here, you can see your guide. So inside here, I can see my different sections. I can see my articles. Just one thing I'd like to mention inside here, because sometimes it's missed, is that you can fill in the article. You can put in all the information. You can choose the visibility. Is it everyone or signed in user? What section and author? But the key thing is if you just click save, it saves it. If you want to publish it, please click this arrow here and click publish or unpublish. If you just click save, it will not get published. So just remember this wonderful arrow here to publish it or unpublish it.
Layout guy, you'd probably need to move the logo because they cannot see the publish option there. I mean, I cannot see it on the
Oh,
screen. So
okay. Let me click on it again then. Are you able to see it now or still no? No luck.
yeah, no luck because it's
Let me
just
see
below the
if can I
logo.
shrink the screen down or no, it's not going to help. Okay. It's just right over here. You just have
It's
to
on
click this.
yeah, it's on the top right hand corner where we have our layout logo as well. So
Yeah. And just you'll see a downwards arrow.
Hmm.
Just click on that. Okay.
oh, okay, wonderful. Now, David, you can show that now.
All right,
So
let me click
instead of
here.
saving, just make sure you click on you use publish.
Or unpublish. This is where you can unpublish or publish. Just make sure you click on this arrow. A lot of people click save and they don't know why it's not being published or unpublished. So just remember to click on the arrow. Next, we have our support tickets. So inside here, I can see any unsolved new tickets, and I can also manage your view because sometimes you want to see what your support is doing and which tickets they're handling. And when that case happens, then you have to set it up. Like I have Andy's view. So if I click on here and I edit, you can see in here that it's the signee is Andy. So I know that these are tickets assigned to him. What is the status? Is the status open? When was it created? It was created greater than 24 hours, meaning it's past 24 hours. It's not been resolved. What's going on? And what is the priority? Is the priority high, urgent, low, normal? I can select what it is. So this is where you can set it up, different views based upon your different support personnel. And that way you can have a clear view of how many tickets each person and support are handling, how fast they're processing it through, and is there anything stuck, which I find very valuable.
So just to share some best practices here. I mean, how we have configured it is that we have created different views. So there is an open view, there is a pending view, there is a closed view, there is a solved view. Now, how it will help you is that if you are running your help desk, then especially with multiple agents, then you will have some problems uh, in identifying which tickets are more important than the others. Because when you log in, you see a big list of tickets if you do not use these views to organize them. And one good way that I have found of organizing these views is to have a new view where only the new tickets are shown, which have not been replied to at all. Then you can have an open view. The open view allows you to see anything which has been replied basically by the customer and which you have not responded to. So you know that okay, these are the ones where your customer has sent something to you and you have probably been in some conversation with them, but you still have not replied back to them. So this helps you to identify those. Then you have pending. Pending is something that I tend to use. The pending view is what I would want to use when I have a reply pending from the customer's side. And then obviously you have closed and solved. So this allows you to get a better this it's not very complicated, right? I mean, but yeah, I mean, what I've seen is that there are multiple ways to organize this, and this is one way that I have found useful to organize and help the team to quickly identify, okay, these are the tickets that we need to respond to faster, because otherwise you log in and you have a pile there sometimes and you don't know which ones to go after first. All right, back to you, David.
All right, so now let's go to deals. So just to quickly show up here, this is your default pipeline, and this is where you can add a pipeline here. Also, we have a pencil here. You'll notice that you can only edit your own pipeline. So if you want to create a pipeline, change it and edit it, you can do that here by clicking this pencil right here. And inside here, this is where you can add in new opportunities and new stages. Your help text, your probability, how many days before this deal rots, and win or loss. We also have here, I can see the list view, so I can see how everything is going inside here as well. So I can see, for example, all right, this was supposed to be done on November 30th. This is not good. It's almost Christmas. All I want for Christmas is to close all these deals. So you can talk to your wonderful owners and find out how that's possible. I can click here, create deal from the screen, and I can put in all the information that I'm required. So for example, deal name, let's say Monday sales. And then I can just go to the organization and select the organization here. For example, Johnny Electronics. I can see John Thomas here. I can select the owner, sub-owner, and I can put in the deal value. For example, maybe 500. And I can select my pipeline and my closing date. Then after that, I can see it in this list. I can go click on deals here itself. And I can go back to the pipeline view. And then I can just drag and drop to what setting I want. I can drill in. Now, some people have asked, where do I edit my deal? Because it's not very obvious on the screen, but it's the 3 dots right up here. This is where you can edit the deal and delete the deal. So this is clearly where you can edit it. Inside here, I can also create custom fields for this. I can put deal won, deal lost, and I connect my email. So if I connect it, then I can send out emails, receive emails from my good old contact directly here. But if I don't want to connect an email, I can manually log it in here as well. Inside activities, I can go here and create an activity. And this is where I can put in the activity name. So I'm just going to quickly put call 9 a.m. assigned to me, contact person, good old John Thomas, Johnny's Electronics. And I can send out the invite directly here as well. So I can just save it, send it on out. And I can see the call. I can complete it. I can see any notes, any logs. Just quickly, I can go here to deals. And I can just drag and drop it. So literally, I can just drag it on the screen. I don't have to go and edit it. If I'm in a sales meeting or talking to my sales staff, I can just find out, okay, it's moved to this stage. Excellent. Okay, has it moved to close won or close loss? Okay, it's been moved to 1. Excellent. So now the deal's won. And that's a quick look at CRM.
Awesome. So let's see if there are any questions. And I don't see any new questions right now. So let's go to people. And David, over to you. Let's do a quick review of people, expense, and leave, and then we will have a final round of Q&A.
All right. So just quickly, something new, which I think is cool. In the pay schedule, we can add a pay schedule, and guess what we have now? Biweekly. So if you are looking forward to biweekly, we have it now. So this is where you can set up your biweekly pay schedule. You can put in the pay date, the first pay date, the work period, is it applicable to all users, and you can save it. After that, we can do a payroll. So I'm just going to click here and do a pay run for biweekly. And these employees are very happy because they're getting paid 4 times a week or 4 times a month or 8 times a month, something like that. So I click biweekly. I select the period. I select the information. Does it apply to all users? I select the framing. So currently it's 1 to 14. So maybe I want this 15 to 28, for example, 15 to 28. So for example, 15 to 28 here.
So yeah, just to clarify, bi-weekly is once every 2 weeks, not twice every week, which I would very much like, but
oh, once every what?
It's once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's bi-weekly. Though twice a week is the dream. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. It's just that I processed the payroll on Monday, then I process the payroll again on Friday for a biweekly, then I process it again on Monday, and then I process it again on Friday. So every time we have a webinar, I have to process it again. So that's why it's coming like this. That's why I'm saying that. You're right. It's only twice, what's it called? Every 2 weeks you get a payroll.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct. It's just that these wonderful employees continually get processed. So inside here, I've done, what's it called? Biweekly. I can see the overtime here. And I can put in the number of hours as well. I click next. And based upon your different countries, based upon statutory requirements, this will update accordingly. So currently I'm in the US, but again, based upon your different countries, if you're in Singapore, you'll have your CPF. If you're in Malaysia, of course, other information will be showing here as well. So after all that, I process the payroll. Make sure everything's 100% accurate. Yes, everything's 100% accurate. I can view the summary here. And this is where I can see the information. Everything looks good. I say it's good. And then I can click here and I can finish, and the payroll will be processed. If I want to, though, I can also cancel it. So that's one thing I think is key. The next thing, we have our reports. So this is where your statutory client reports are. And I just want to show you here that we have the payslip designer. So this is where you can do the payslip designer here and modify and change your payslip. You can create your payslip templates here. And it's very similar to our email templates. You literally just drag and drop what you want in here. You can also see the codings in here as well. And if you need to view the code, you can view the code. You can import the template here, and you can see the full screen over here. And just under employees, under employee list, I can actually drill in on my employees. And this is where I can see inside here, December amount, gross pay, taxes. Wouldn't we all wish we could have salaries like this? And then I can see here the amount for the process of the payroll. I can see the download of the payslip, and I can see earnings bonus is active, and I can see gross pay, taxes, and deductions. Next, let's go to eLeave. So inside here, this is where I can create my different types of leave based upon different countries' requirements and based upon your own company's requirements. Because every company may have different requirements and also different requirements based upon different countries. So inside here, I can create a new leave type. And this is where I can put in the different type. Like I learned from some colleagues from Malaysia that there's marriage leave in Malaysia. So you can have like different leaves like, and you can see my poor spelling because of Word and autocorrect. I can put in the number of days. I can put in the leave prorate. Is it number of days, number of months are disabled? Is it yearly, monthly, or one time? Can you carry forward? What's the description? What should the label color be? Is there any gender requirements? Is there any marital status, like married? And does it apply to all users? And do you allow unpaid leave? Can I activate the leave, apply before confirmation date, and years of service? So if you want additional leave based upon years of service, you can do that here. So for example, 0 to 5, you get this, 5 to 10, you get this, 10 to 15, you get this much leave. So you can set it up here based on what you require. We also have our leave adjustments. So this is where I can do the adjustment leave, our yearly holidays. So this is where you can create your different holidays, and your user management and your company settings. So I just want to show you in user management very quickly. We have teams. So this is where you can set up who's your manager and who's approving. So I just want to show that quickly. So edit team. And you can see the different roles here accordingly. Is he a manager? Is he a user? And the manager approves, and the user is the one he approves from. All right, so next let's go to expenses. So inside expenses, this is where you can see the information. I can see all my pay claims, my new claims, my expenses. I can review now. I can see claims to reimburse that are pending. And I can go draft. I can submit. If I click on the 3 dots, I can duplicate, delete, and print. Please take note, though. If it's pending approval, there is no delete button. You only can delete, duplicate, or print. So you would have to reject it if they made a mistake. So just please take note of that. And I can see all the information here. And I can export it, and I can see admin for any approval. And that's just a quick look at eLeave, expense, and people. Anything else you want me to show in here, or is it all good?
All good, David. That was
excellent,
awesome, as usual. And let's see if we have any questions. There are a couple of questions actually that I remember from the group and from the last few webinars as well, which might not have been addressed on the Monday webinar. So one is, when is Transferwise coming? So we did the demo for Transferwise. It's already ready to go live, but Transferwise has got some annual quotas of licenses that they can give out. So they can only give us a production key in the first week or so of January. after New Year. So once we get a production key from Transferwise, then we will have Transferwise live as well. Uh, there were some questions on why we have not integrated with Google, why we have done the integration with Microsoft. So Google was and is always, a candidate, but Google has updated some of their security policies, because of which it's more difficult for smaller companies like us to connect to them. Uh, and they need us to do some random security audits and all before we can even start building the connection. And by the way, this used to work fine, just fine, 2 months ago. And then 2 months ago, there was, some policy updates that Google shared. So we will definitely do that, but we have provided all the means for you to get your Google information in the system. You can import using Excel. You can connect your own SMTP and use your Gmail address. But having said that, yes, we will have a more native, tightly integrated Google integration available as well. And yeah, now we are nearing the end of the year here. We have Christmas coming up soon, and then the New Year to follow. And it's a Christmas and New Year of hope, especially with the vaccine on the horizon now for all of us. And 2020 was a strange year in all respects. I don't think we'll forget 2020 soon, but the way that it is ending is, I mean, it looks quite promising now. Uh, Things are falling into place, and I hope that all of you have an amazing Christmas and a New Year. But before that, do not forget we have our webinar, the affiliate webinar on Wednesday, and we have the Bahasa webinar on Thursday. So if you are interested in that, please don't forget to tune in. And with that, uh, I'll bid you all adieu today. So thank you, David, and thank you everybody else for being a part of today's webinar. Any questions, any doubts, any clarifications? We have the Facebook group. Please, feel free to leave your uh, feedback in the Facebook group, or you can always send your support issues to care at Deskera, or you can just hit me up on Facebook DM and let me know if you have any questions or doubts. All right. So thank you, everyone, and have a very good day slash night slash evening, depending on where you are.